Thank you. I'm Manuel Wolff from Germany, and in the next few minutes I'll attempt to make you laugh, and then we'll be creating world peace. I know, you think like, okay, world peace maybe, but a funny German? That's unheard of, you know? But it's true, Germans aren't funny. We're not funny people, that's a well-known fact. According to a very scientific survey, 83% of all the people in the whole world think that Germany is the least funny nation of them all. We're even less funny than North Korea. It's true. We're not happy, funny people, you know? We complain all the time. We have this saying in Germany, it's called "Früher war alles besser," which means in the past everything was better. Which is a really stupid thing to say, especially for German. You don't see many Jews walking around Germany saying "Früher war alles besser." You know? It's not true. Yeah. Thank you. And it's not true. Nothing was früher better. Everything gets better all the time. We should be more thankful. We should be thankful for the Americans, for reunifying Germany. By taking David Hasselhoff, standing him at the Berlin Wall, standing on his speaking car, singing, "I've been looking for freedom," and the wall came tumbling down, just like the trumpets of Jericho. Hallelujah, David Hasselhoff. We should be so happy. But we're not, which makes my job hard because I'm actually a comedian. A German comedian, that's a good example of a paradox. But enough with the stereotypes for now. Let me show you a little bit one of my very first numbers, which I also performed in English. It's a true story about my mobile phone provider, whose name I won't say, but I'll just call them O3 for now. They sent me this. I got this in my mailbox. I got this from O3. I read what it says. It says, "Danke." No, I mean on the back, but "Danke" means thank you, by the way. So I got this letter. It says, "A heartfelt greeting from O3. Dear Mr. Wolff, today we would like to send you a greeting, just because we think it is nice that you have been with us, and for so many years. And what would be more fitting for a person that is really important to us than to present him with a Lebkuchenherz, a gingerbread heart?" I don't know, what would be more fitting? I can't think of anything for a person that is really important to us. Like when you're married with your woman for 20 years, you go to her and say, "Honey, you're really, really important to me. I've got just the right thing for you. Here." Isn't that fitting? There's no better way than to sum up our appreciation in one word: cardboard. Cardboard for being our valued customer. Sincerely yours, Peter Rampling, Managing Director Marketing. Well, so I thought I should write them an answer. So I wrote them a letter. I wrote, "Dear Mr. Rampling, thank you for showing your appreciation for my 15 years of loyalty with a piece of cardboard. I can hardly wait what you'll have in store for me after another 15 years of loyalty. Maybe 2 pieces of cardboard? I could hardly restrain myself from sending you a few pieces of used toilet paper to show my appreciation for your 15 years of service. How about at least a real Lebkuchenherz? Or how about a new mobile phone? With this letter, I would also like to pay my outstanding phone bill. That's why I'm sending you a picture of some cash. Got this here? Send them this." Thanks. Sincerely, your always loyal customer, Manuel Wolff. And you won't believe it, but they wrote back to me. They also wrote me a letter. And they wrote, "Dear Mr. Wolff, unfortunately it is not possible for you to pay your bills with counterfeit money. Nevertheless, you are right. Normally our customer loyalty bonuses have a little bit more value. Please accept our apologies, and we hope you'll enjoy the enclosed gift." And then they really sent me a mobile phone. Made out of gingerbread. So that was funny, but why? Who knows? And the good thing is, it seems to be funny anywhere around the world. I played this bit in Germany, I played it in Great Britain, I played it in the Netherlands, and everywhere it worked the same. Now in Bulgaria, everywhere it worked the same, even though one would think that people from different countries are different people. Like, for example, the Dutch, a very happy and joyful and carefree nation that thinks that Germans have no humor at all. Or the British, a nation that prides itself in having the best sense of humor worldwide, and to think that Germans have no humor at all. And in Germany it worked too, even though obviously Germans have no humor at all. But what was funny about it? Well, it's a true story. Furthermore, I mean, it's something that happened to me and I chose to tell on stage. It's a true story and it's funny. Well, everything about it is true. Not everything, almost everything. The only thing that's false is they didn't send me a mobile phone made out of gingerbread. They sent me something else. They sent me a mobile phone made out of cardboard. But yet it made us laugh, even though I did something very German when I got that letter. I simply wrote a complaint. And you can't imagine the joy I felt when writing that complaint. And I bet the person at the phone company, he was also giggling with joy when he was able to write that creative answer about the counterfeit money. So it made him happy. And just telling the story to audiences on stage makes many more people happy. And then I put a video of this on YouTube and it almost got 1 million views, so I bet it made some of the viewers happy as well. And furthermore, the phone company immediately stopped sending out gingerbread hearts to customers, so it made thousands of customers happy. Such a little thing, such a small story, just a simple idea, and it brings joy to hundreds of thousands of people, and who knows, their joy then might bring joy to others. And this is very good, especially for me, because I used to be, and sometimes still are, a very cynical and frustrated guy. I always feel bad, and I think I can't do anything right. So I'm seeing a psychologist, and she diagnosed I have slight depressions. Slight depressions? I can't even do that right. But you know what I can do? I can create world peace. And I will show you now how it's done. Are you ready for world peace? Yeah? That's good, because there are a few people who don't want world peace, but trust me, we'll get there. Now, you might think I'm crazy, but I'm not. Well, I might be. But there's the slight possibility that I'm not talking complete nonsense, so you might as well believe me, because, well, world peace, you know? It's actually quite easy. It's actually quite easy to get frustrated if you look at the world and see the state it's in, but there's something you can do and you should do. The first thing is to realize, and this will hopefully calm you, that you alone probably won't be able to bring peace to this planet. But that's good, because it takes a lot of pressure from your shoulders. You yourself alone will definitely not change much. So it's worth to at least try a little. It's totally okay, and it won't hurt if you don't succeed. Now, secondly, you might think that world peace sounds like a utopia that will never happen. But that's not true. World peace is possible, and it will happen. Yes, it is unavoidable. Now, the sad thing is, it won't happen in your lifetime. It will take thousands of years, or possibly even 1 million. There are tons of tiny steps necessary, millions of 1 million steps necessary, until we are a society without wars. But the good thing is, there are 7 billion people on this earth. So if at least some of us try to work towards peace, it will happen someday. It's simple mathematics. Now you might say, what's in it for me if I won't ever see it happen? Well, apart from doing something good for future generations, you'll feel better. Because here's what you do, and trust me, this really works. Like, if you go through the streets and you see someone passing by, just smile at them. We rarely do, but just try it. You know what will happen? The person you are smiling at will smile back, most of the time. And he will feel better, and you will feel better, and together you did a tiny, tiny little step towards world peace. I know it sounds crazy because there are a million times, a trillion more steps needed, but you did something good and you made your own life and that of another person better, and you should feel great. You should feel just great. Now, there also might be the occasional grumpy bugger that doesn't smile back, but don't worry, he will die. Someday. So that's okay. At least one person smiled. You smiled. So one person smiling, that's better than nobody smiling. Yeah. Trust me, this works. Like when you go home tonight, go to a mirror and look at yourself and smile. There's nothing in the world that can stop you from feeling better if you smile, because that's what smiling is. Right? And if you want to take it a step further, simply do some nice things. Say please and thank you, hold open a door, leave a nice comment on a YouTube video, preferably my YouTube video. Anything, any random act of kindness, as small and worthless as you can imagine. If you do something good, no matter if the person deserves it or not, or doesn't even take notice, if you do something good, it will make the world a little bit better. And if it doesn't, at least it won't make it worse. So it's worth a try. Except if you're a lazy, grumpy bugger. But then I have good news for you. You will die. In my solo show, where I also play the piano, at the end, I sing 2 fists, if you open them, are 10 fingers. And the world gets better if you open up and smile and laugh. Which I have to admit translates badly, because in German it's a really good rhyme and a really clever play on words. But nevertheless, I'm trying to give the audience a good time so that they can carry on and give themselves and others a good time. So at the end of the show, I also asked the audience to go to my website if they enjoyed the show and to leave a little comment in the guest book. They rarely do, but if they do, they sometimes write how they had a bad day or even a terrible week, and that they were able to forget that because they enjoyed the evening so much. And I don't know if they really did or if they were just being polite because I asked them to, but whenever I read those comments, I get immediately happy. It fills my heart with joy because I then know I must have done something right. And this is proof to me that it works. They made my world better, and I made theirs a little bit better, and together, step by step, one laugh at a time, it gets better. Now I know it's hard if you look at the world and see death and violence and destruction and hate everywhere, and it's hard not to think, früher war alles besser. But let me give you an example of what restored my faith in humanity. After the terrible terrorist attacks in Paris, once again the world was shocked at how cold, hateful, violent, terrible, and inhumane humans could be. Yet there was no other choice than to carry on. And a day after the attacks, I was hosting my weekly comedy club in Cologne. And without planning it in advance, that night I noticed we had a Christian, a Jew, a Muslim, an atheist, men and women on stage, and everybody got along just fine. We had a great evening full of love and joy. Well, the Christian, nobody understood the Christian because he was talking in tongues. The Jew wanted more money. The Muslim didn't want to stand on stage with the woman. The atheist felt way superior than everybody else. And the women just weren't funny. But hey, at least we had a great time and we brought the world a little bit of peace. Because in the long run, passion and love and joy always beats violence and hate. One laugh at a time. Thank you.